I'm Jimi Hendrix, and this episode is called God's Medicine for Loneliness on Empower Your Pattern 2.0. Hi, I'm Jimi Hendrix, Adversity Authority, Success, Confidence, and Thrive Coach, member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and founder of James Hendrix Empowerment. I believe that our patterns help you receive more, help you live a better and extraordinary life right now. I also wish to give the spiritual and temporal tips to help you overcome the adversities in everyday life. So if you come with me, I will show you these patterns. Let's go. How are you guys doing? I tell you what, the weather in West Texas this late spring has been crazy. After days of weather being in the high 90s and 100s, we had yesterday, it was like in the mid to upper 70s and thunderstorms. And we were still promised more thunderstorms, maybe. I know we had some throughout the night, and finally that's what they was able to help me sleep. But I digress. I want to talk to you guys about God's remedy for loneliness. And of course, you know, I am delivering this podcast on June 3rd. It won't be posted until June 6th. I had made a vow this week that I was going to make it a very memorable week. And, you know, it didn't matter so much about Monday. Tuesday, my friend Michael came over and we kind of talked, you know, maybe celebrated a little bit. And then Wednesday and yesterday, he decided not to come over. And I know Wednesday, I was going through some personal problems. And I started getting down, and I was like, well, I'm supposed to be making this memorable. And now I'm miserable. And then after sitting there for a while and stewing in it, I thought, you know what, you have a choice. You can either be happy or you can be miserable. And so I thought, well, it was the 1st of June. I did one of my emergency critterotomies, where I, you know, as I said early in the episodes, what that is, it's like a cognitive therapy log where you take each automatic negative thought, which I call a critter, and then you divide it up with either a gospel response, which is some scripture or a word of a theologian, and also some logical reasoning. You use your personal logic to try to find your way to do it, and then after you've gone through all the thoughts and divided like that, you go through what's known as the CAP method. What's your choice? What's your plan of action? How are you going to pursue happiness today? And so, you know, I did that kind of half-heartedly. And I thought to myself, well, what am I going to do now? This is supposed to be memorable. And blah, 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 blah. And I thought, you know what? Regardless, I'm still going to have a good time. So I ordered me some dinner to be delivered. I listened to an old album I had received from my friend Julie, Michael W. Smith's first decade. It tells you something. I am an old school contemporary Christian music fan. The new stuff is okay, don't get me wrong, but just not so much. Shows you how dated I am. Anyhow, I digress. I thought, well, you still have that Bible study tonight for your podcast to be home all night. You're starting in the Gospels of John. I was like, well, I can either sit there and constantly make myself miserable and don't do the Bible study, which sadly I did. But the next day I remembered I did the Bible study and I felt better. And then the following day, for some reason, even though I've had some good social time going to the grocery store with a friend, I was beginning to feel isolated again. And my friend Michael was not feeling well. He didn't really want to come over, so I thought, well, what am I going to do? So I started feeling sad, missing my former, my late BFE, Keith Cotton. I was like, man, I'm just all by myself, and blah, 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 blah. And I sat there and stewed in that for what was nearly, I guess, 2 hours, maybe. And I was going to take a nap. I said, well, I just give up. Tomorrow will be a better day. I just give up. And Heavenly Father said, get up. You're not giving up. And so He showed me a verse, a Bible verse in the JST, which to Latter-day Saints says the Joseph Smith translation. Not in any way to replace the King James Version of the Bible, okay? I'm going to see if I can find the verse and I'll get back to you. John 1:14 in the JST. And the same Word was made flesh and dwelt among us. And we beheld His glory, even the glory of the only begotten Son of God, full of grace and truth. And I was like, okay, how's that help, man? And God said, look, I'm with you. I dwell among you. He said, so let me through a few Bible verses, had me listen to some music, and when I had a good dinner and some good times, I thought, well, maybe that's what's needed. So here's the thing. Okay, so it's not where you don't want to be alone. Believe it or not, I get it, okay? I live by myself, and not being able to get in a car and go where I would like to go. There are some times where I just feel, self-isolated. And I was like, what am I going to do? This is not working, and blah, 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 blah. And I'm thinking, when I was ready to give up yesterday afternoon, Heavenly Father was right there. He was like, wait a minute, Jimmy. And he pointed me to this verse. He pointed me to a few other verses. He said, look, I realize that you're going through all this pain. He said, I know you wanted to be with other people, but for a little bit you can be with me and learn how you hear me. And he gave me some impressions to help feel better. And thank goodness. God's remedy for loneliness. Yes, definitely get involved in meetup groups and stuff like that. But also get close to Him. Get into the Scriptures. I'm going to say something. I have found comfort in the Scriptures for loneliness. I know when I was younger, I was like, it's hocus pocus. I don't necessarily believe that. And then now that I'm older, it's kind of like, you know what? Why not try it? This is more along the lines of the loneliness way. And so I hope that you've enjoyed this. And also his remedy is to try to make some good memories for yourself. Okay, so it's not like you hoped it'd be. But it can be better. With God's help. Now, I hope you enjoy listening to Empower Your Pattern 2.0. If you like what you hear, please subscribe, become a part of the Pattern Realm. This is Jimi Hendrix saying until next time, don't just sit there and take it. Feel the things you can take it. Do what others don't so you can be what others won't. Or do what others won't so you can have what others can't. Choose, act, and pursue happiness. And God bless you.